This is the 3D VIEW-MASTER fairy tale Lady and the Tramp by Walt Disney. VIEW-MASTER Reel 1. Pinocchio. Picture 1. Old Geppetto, the master woodcarver, had always wanted a son. When his good friend Master Cherry gave him a fine piece of wood, the old man had a wonderful idea. "I will carve a puppet to look like a real boy," Geppetto said. Figaro, Geppetto's cat, watched with great interest as his master, day after day, carefully carved the wood. There was a magic in Geppetto's hands as he carved. Once the puppet began to take shape, it seemed so real the old woodcarver could scarcely contain his delight. Figaro was happy too. Even Cleo, the fish, was impressed. "I shall call him Pinocchio," Geppetto said. Picture 2. When the puppet was finished, Master Geppetto attached strings to Pinocchio's hands, feet and head. By pulling the strings, he could make the wooden puppet walk. "Look, Figaro, Pinocchio can walk as good as you and I." Geppetto jerked on the puppet's strings. Figaro scampered out of the way. Picture 3. Pinocchio seemed so real that as old Geppetto went to bed that night, he longed more than ever for a real son. "Oh, if only Pinocchio were real," he said sadly to Figaro. "Look, Figaro, there's the wishing star. Maybe if we wish on it and believe very hard, it could happen." Figaro was glad to help. He bounced up onto the windowsill. "Starlight, star bright," Geppetto said. "I wish Pinocchio were a real live boy." "Meow too," purred Figaro. Picture 4. As old Geppetto, Figaro and Cleo slept, Pinocchio sat woodenly on the bench where the old man had placed him. It was not long, however, before he had a visitor, a traveling cricket named Jiminy Cricket. "When you come to life, Woodenhead, I'm to be your conscience and keep you out of trouble," chirped Jiminy Cricket. Picture 5. Then a tiny rustling sound could be heard in the room. Jiminy Cricket looked up. For a moment it seemed as though the wishing star were right in the room. Then suddenly from the center of the star a lovely fairy appeared. Her beautiful blue wings sparkled as she fluttered to the floor in front of the wooden puppet. She raised her magic wand and waved it over the puppet's head. "Little puppet made of pine, wake, the gift of life is thine." Picture 6. Pinocchio jumped right off the bench and started to dance and sing. The noise he made soon awoke Geppetto and Figaro. Quickly the old man armed himself. Then he and brave little Figaro went to investigate. Picture 7. Imagine their joy when Geppetto and Figaro found Pinocchio was indeed alive, just as they had wished. They all laughed with happiness. Pinocchio and Figaro danced while old Geppetto played a lively tune. Even Cleo flipped joyfully round in her fishbowl. And of course, they were all so excited they couldn't sleep a wink the rest of the night. VIEW-MASTER Reel 2. Lady and the Tramp. Picture 1. Not long ago, on Christmas Eve, Jim Dear gave his wife, Darling, a beautiful little puppy. The pup was such a perfect little lady that is just what they decided to name her, Lady. Lady was very happy with her new people. But, of course, at first they needed a little training. Lady took care of this in a hurry. Soon her people knew just what they were supposed to do to be good pets. Lady took Jim Dear for a walk every morning. She cleaned crumbs off the floor to show Darling how to clean house. It was indeed a fine life. Picture 2. Lady soon became fast friends with her two neighbors, Jock, a Scotsman, and Trusty, a fine old southern gentleman. One day, Lady was excitedly telling them that Darling was going to have a baby. Suddenly she was interrupted. Home wreckers, that's what babies are. It was Tramp, a cocky young mongrel who had just eluded the dog catcher. You just wait until Junior gets here. When a baby moves in, a dog moves out, he warned Lady. Picture 3. However, despite Tramp's predictions, after the baby's arrival, everything went along well for Lady. That is, until Jim Dear had to go out of town for a few days. Then Aunt Sarah moved in. This stern-faced lady liked cats but not dogs. She proceeded to make life miserable for Lady. She shooed her out of the bedroom, even out of the house. Picture 4. But the worst was yet to come. One day Aunt Sarah took Lady to a pet shop and had her muzzled. Lady had had enough. She pulled loose from the leash Aunt Sarah held and ran away. Picture 5. Lady was indeed glad to be free, but she had never been in the big city before, and all the strange noises and figures frightened her. When she tried to escape from the noise and the cars, two rough dogs started to chase her. The dogs had cornered Lady, frightened and panting in an alley, when Tramp happened upon the scene and chased the ruffians away. Picture 6. Tramp decided Lady needed someone to take care of her, so he appointed himself to the job. He took Lady to his friend Beaver, who gnawed off the terrible muzzle. Then he showed Lady around the town. They ended up at Tony's, where they shared a spaghetti dinner and were royally entertained with music and song. Picture 7. Tramp didn't want Lady to go home after being so badly treated, but Lady was worried. She had promised Jim Dear to protect the baby. Finally, Tramp went along with her. It was a good thing, too, that he did. An evil rat had crept up into the baby's room. Tramp killed it while Lady guarded the crib. When Jim Dear returned home and discovered Tramp's bravery, he made Tramp one of the family and sent Aunt Sarah away. The next Christmas was a happy one for all of them, but especially for Lady and the Tramp. They now had a family of their own, as well as 3 lovely people pets. VIEW-MASTER Reel 3, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. Picture 1. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, the country's good queen wished for a little girl with lips as red as blood, skin as white as snow, and hair as black as ebony. The following spring, Her wish was granted, and a daughter was born to the queen. But the good queen lived only long enough to see her beautiful daughter, and then she died. Soon after this, the king married again. His new queen was very beautiful, but she was also heartless and cruel. The new queen wanted to be the most beautiful in all the land. Daily she asked her magic mirror this question: "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of us all?" All went well until one day, instead of telling the vain queen that she was the fairest, the magic mirror said, "Her lips blood red, her hair like night, her skin like snow, her name Snow White." Snow White had indeed grown up into a beautiful young princess. Picture 2. Pale with anger, the queen bid her huntsman take Snow White into the forest and kill her. The huntsman took Snow White deep into the forest, but he could not kill the beautiful child. He sent her farther into the forest to hide. Here she quickly made friends with the forest animals, and they led her to the cottage of the 7 dwarfs. Finding no one at home, she went in. In one corner she found an old broom and quickly cleaned up the place. Upstairs she found 7 little beds in a row. She read the name on each one: Dog, Happy, Sneezy, Dopey, Grumpy, Bashful, Sleepy. She was sleepy too, so she lay down across the little beds and fell asleep. Picture 3. As the sun sank in the west, the 7 dwarfs stopped work in the diamond mine and started home. As they marched through the forest, they sang, "Hee ho, it's home from work we go." But when they came within sight of their cottage, they were surprised to see smoke curling from the chimney, and the door standing open. Fearfully they tiptoed in. Picture 4. The dwarfs were shocked indeed to find their home so clean, and when they discovered Snow White asleep on their beds, they could hardly believe their eyes. "Why, bless my soul, it's a girl!" exclaimed Dog. This awakened Snow White, who was so delighted with them that they soon became fast friends. She cooked them a supper such as they had never before tasted. The 7 dwarfs quickly decided they wanted Snow White to stay and live with them. When she agreed, they were all happy, even Grumpy, who almost smiled at the news. Picture 5. At the palace, the wicked queen, thinking Snow White was dead, went once again to her magic mirror. But the honest mirror said, "With the 7 dwarfs will spend the night, the fairest in the land, Snow White." The queen was so angry she broke the mirror into bits. Then she disguised herself as a toothless old woman and set out to find Snow White. She soon found the cottage of the 7 dwarfs. When Snow White saw the poor old lady, she spoke kindly to her and gave her a drink. In return, the old lady, really the wicked queen in disguise, gave Snow White a poisoned apple. When Snow White bit into the apple, she fell to the floor. The forest animals ran to the diamond mine to warn the 7 dwarfs. Picture 6. The dwarfs hurried home as fast as they could and arrived in time to see the evil old woman flee into the woods.
und als er eine ganze Nacht im Wasser
into a bottomless pit.
war, er am nächsten Morgen auf einer Insel. Es war dies aber das Eiland der fleißigen Bienen, auf dem jedermann von früh bis spät schuftete. Da wäre es schnell aufgefallen, wenn Pinocchio weiter gefaulenzt hätte. Er bot also einem vorübergehenden Mädchen seine Dienste an und war nicht weniger überrascht, in ihm seine blauhaarige Fee wiederzusehen. Hoch und heilig gelobte Pinocchio endgültig Besserung und sogar fleißigen Schulbesuch. Trotzdem war er bald wieder bei dummen Streichen dabei und sollte sogar verhaftet werden. Im letzten Augenblick verstand er aber, der Polizei zu entwischen, die ihm daraufhin einen scharfen Hund nachschickte. Vor dem konnte sich Pinocchio nur durch einen Sprung ins angrenzende Meer retten. Der Hund aber hatte einen solchen Schwung, dass er mit ins Meer stürzte, ohne schwimmen zu können. Da verhalf Pinocchio dem Tier wieder an Land, denn eine gute Tat kann nie zum Schaden gereichen. Er selbst blieb im Wasser, schwamm weiter und geriet